Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Now, some days... Thank you for that. I need it tonight. Some days the news is frustrating, and by some days, I mean every day for the last 3 years. But today is especially irksome. I am fully irked. Trump is really irking me off.
Family matters.
Here's the deal. It's been a couple of days since the Iran almost war, and the world's sphincter is finally unclenching. And now, just a couple of days later, with the perspective of time, we can ask, was any of this legal? The administration says yes. The drone strike was completely justified because they were heading off an imminent attack. Now, I don't know, might be true. But so far, Trump hasn't provided any evidence of that or told anyone what the attack would have been. Yesterday, Trump administration officials delivered classified briefings to members of Congress, and not everybody gave it a rave. Some gave it a rant. Like Utah Republican Senator and man definitely not snapping on the beat, Mike Lee. Senator Lee described the meeting where the administration was supposed to explain the justification for the attack like this.
Probably the worst briefing I've seen, at least on a military issue, in the 9 years I've served in the United States Senate. They kept telling us that there would have been an imminent attack had they not taken this strike on Friday. But then when we would ask them, what was the nature of that attack? When and where would it have occurred? By whom would it have been carried out? They refused to answer the question.
And that is the only reason for the meeting. That's like a doctor saying, yeah, we have the results of your MRI, but I refuse to show them to you. So what do you want to talk about? Hey, have you finished binging The Witcher on Netflix yet? If not, I'd get to that in the next couple of weeks if I were you. Not only are they not providing any information to Congress, briefers were even shushing lawmakers who asked tough questions. Okay, that one's fine. Remember what James Madison said to John Adams at the Constitutional Convention about the separation of powers? Shut your dirty little mouth! Senator Lee, who again is a Republican, says the censorship went even further than that.
What I found so distressing about that briefing was that one of the messages we received from the briefers was, do not debate, do not discuss the issue of the appropriateness of further military intervention against Iran. And that if you do, you'll be emboldening Iran.
Of course, that makes sense. Iran wants nothing more than forcing the great Satan to have a functioning democracy. Don't forget their rallying cry, reason debate to America. Lee says not only was the briefing horrible, the portions were so small.
And they had to leave after 75 minutes.
75 minutes is shorter than the opening credits of The Irishman. Now, Lee wrapped up his criticism of the briefing by telling us how he really felt.
I find this insulting and demeaning, not personally, but to the office that each of the 100 senators in this building happens to hold. I find it insulting and I find it demeaning to the Constitution of the United States.
Damn right, Mike. I am going to right now, yes, you may be a Republican, but yes. Oh, hell yes. Senator, I'm going to ruin your political career right now by agreeing with you. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. This is insulting. This is insulting, not just to Congress. This is insulting to the American people. Has everyone already forgotten what happens when we don't ask for concrete evidence justifying a military attack against a Middle Eastern country whose name begins with Ira? Obviously, we know what that was last time.
Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake.
Thank you, more recent mistake. Now, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Here it is.
Come on now.
Listen up. Here's the difference between 2003 and now. I weigh 30 more pounds. Here's another one. Here's another one. Back then, George W. Bush respected us enough to put some effort into his lies. Remember? Saddam Hussein has mobile weapons labs that ride the rails made of aluminum tubes that can deliver 50,000 barrels of honey mustard gas hidden on a turkey farm. Saddam will attack us with human-animal hybrids. Okay? They even sent Colin Powell to the UN to shake his cocaine vial full of Sweet and Low and claimed if he opened it right then, it would kill everyone from here to Westchester County. And he'd love to show us the evidence, but that would ruin everything. We just had to trust them and their buddy Curveball. Well, 17 years later, here we are again. Worst Throwback Thursday ever. And Trump, here's another difference. Here's another difference. Trump doesn't even have a Colin Powell that we trust. They don't have someone with a reputation worth flushing down the toilet. The best they can scrap together is the Mike Pence experience.
We have to protect sources and methods, and so there's only a certain amount that we can share with every member of Congress. But those of us who have seen all the evidence know that there was a compelling case of an imminent threat.
Did you get that? Pence has seen all the evidence, but you won't ever see it because it goes to another school in Canada, and it's super hot. And he totally got to third base with it, which, for Mike Pence, is sharing froyo. And I say, before we give the president the authority to attack another Middle Eastern country, we must demand better lies. We deserve better lies. This is America, home of the Whopper. Our taxes, your taxes, my taxes.
That's right.
Our taxes pay for all these lives. Put some effort into it. Dazzle and deceive us. Sell it with some sizzle. Scare the out of us. But just try. One senator was deeply grateful for all the nothing they got. South Carolina Senator and Frog who got kissed and turned into Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham. Graham was asked about whether Congress should ever get to learn anything about the justification for this attack from the president.
Does the administration not have a duty to disclose some of what they know specifically when they come to Congress?
The way we found this out, we'll never tell anybody because it was magical and we're not going to compromise it.
Yes, it was magical. Dun, 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 dun. Would you like a justification? Would anyone here like a justification? All right. Pick a justification. Any justification at all. All right, pick a justification. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Put it back in the deck. Briefing over.